Hello guys, hello. Welcome back to Living It in the Neighborhood. Today you guys, I'm going to be doing some water bath canning. Remember those tomatoes that I got from the food pantry yesterday? I'm not letting them go to waste. I am going to water bath can these today, and I'm going to show you guys how I do it. So, get you some coffee, get you a glass of water, glass of wine, whatever it is that you drink, and come along with me on this journey today. Water bath canning, raw pack water bath canning these tomatoes. So right now over there on my stove I got some water heating up because I'm gonna have to put these tomatoes in the water, the hot boiling water, to blanch them so I can peel the skins off so I can put them in my jars. And these tomatoes I'm going to just water bath can with some kosher salt and some lemon juice, bottled lemon juice. I'm going to do them just like I done this jar and this jar. These are tomatoes that came from my garden this summer. So I'm going to do them just like this, just plain, so that when I get ready to use these tomatoes I can do whatever I want to do. I can use them in any recipe that I want to use them in, because these are just like your canned tomatoes that you buy in the store, but without all the extra preservatives. So you guys, as soon as the water gets heated up, I'm going to come back and show you how I blanch them. Once they come out of the hot water, I'm going to put them into some cold icy water so the skins peel off real easy. So I'll be back to show you how that's done. Okay guys, I'm back and my water is starting to boil. I've got my water and my ice in my big bowl. So I'm just going to start dropping the tomatoes into the hot water. And they don't have to stay in long. I'm actually going to turn this water off. And we're just going to start dropping them in to the hot water. Set that down. I'm only going to leave these in here just for a few minutes. And I'm going to bring them out and I'm going to put them into the cold icy water bath. So you heat them up and then you pull them off. I'm be using this spoon to bring them out. And this is called blanching, you guys. Just blanching to get the skins off. Got them into the cold water bath, and I'm going to bring them out of the cold water bath, and I'm going to put them into this bowl so I can start peeling the skins off. if you like the skins on your tomatoes, I guess you can leave them on there. I always take mine off. I don't know how that would work, but I take my skins off. I think they just look prettier in your jars without the skins. And I'm getting a lot of my ice too in my bowl, and I don't want to. Okay, so I got them out of the water bath, cold water bath, and see how the skins just come off so easy now? They just peel right off. Got me a bowl to throw the skins in. And the skins just peel off, right off. So, guys, if you go to food banks, sometimes you have to do a little work if you want to preserve your food. And see how the skins just peel off when you put them into the hot water, then into the cold water. It's called blanching. They're just falling off, like literally when I pick them up, the skin's just coming off completely. It's a little time consuming, but it's worth it. Have you some nice tomatoes on your pantry shelf to do whatever you want to do with them. That one's already off before I even took it out of the bowl. So I got my jars heating up in the, well actually I got them sanitizing in the oven, and they have been in there now for about an hour. So by the time I get this all done, they would probably be in there for about 2 hours, and I have them on 250. I have my lids and my my rings in a pan of hot water, and I'm going to heat those. I'm going to bring those actually to a boil for a few, well, not a full roaring boil, but I'm going to heat them up. And I'll show you how that looks as well. And I am using the Ball Blue Book Guide to Canning for this process here. That tomato still had the little vine stem on it. It's so cute. Yeah, like look, I'm done with that batch already. I don't know any other way to peel a tomato besides blanching. I don't know any other way. You guys, I was not planning on doing this morning. I got up this morning. I went to a car wash when I got up. I didn't get up because I was at work. When I got off work, I went and got a car wash, and I forgot I had these tomatoes that something needed to be done with them. So that did not fall on the floor. Yep, yes it did. Wash that one off. So I'm putting my next batch into my hot water here to blanch. And I think I may be able to get, no, I'm not. I'm not going to get all of them in at the same time. So, in the blanching process of the water bath canning, and I need to get my water bath full. This is the pot that we're going to be using. This is the water bath canner. And fill this completely up with water. I'm going to fill it up with hot water because it's going to have to heat up. There's no need of me putting cold water in here and then using all that extra energy to heat cold water up. So I'm going to put hot water in there. This is the lid to the water bath canner. And I don't know if you remember me saying in another video that I found this water bath canner in my garage. And it belonged to the lady that used to live here. She was 95 years old when she passed away. So I'm using her water bath canner. And her name was Aunt Margaret. And this is the rack that the jars will sit into. You can get these water bath canners at Walmart for $21. They have them on the shelves right now, guys. They were all out back in the summer and people were losing it because they couldn't find water bath canners. So you guys, I'm going to complete the process of taking the skins off of the tomatoes, which is called blanching. I'm going to finish blanching the tomatoes and I'm going to finish filling my water bath canner up with my water, and I will be back. So hold tight. Alright guys, I'm back. Got my thermometer out. My water has heated up to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's the water that I'm going to be using to put into my canning jars to cover my tomatoes. So you have to heat your water up. So I'm going to bring some jars out and so we'll start filling them. And if I can lift that down, I can show you how I got them. I got them in the oven sitting on a pan. So I'm going to fill 2 at a time. I'm going to turn my water off. Sit my tomatoes over here. See if I can adjust the camera a little bit better too. This is the water that I'm going to be filling my jars up with. I got my lids and my water. They're heated up. I got some vinegar in the bowl that I'm going to use to clean my jars off if they get dirty. But you don't want to put the lids on the dirty rims of jars because they won't seal. So I'm going to bring that down so I can show you. Ooh, jar's hot. How I'm just going to start. Well, actually, I'm going to use my hands and I'm just going to start ladling my tomatoes in to my jars. And I got a little ahead of myself. So I should put about a little less than 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt. And that's culture salt. And I'm going to use a teaspoon of lemon juice. And that's just plain lemon juice in the bottle. Do not use fresh lemon juice. Make sure that you're using bottled lemon juice because of the alkalinity or the alkaline content is right in bottled lemon juice, and that's the content you're going for. So back to filling this jar with my tomatoes, and I'm going to leave a 1/2 inch headspace on these jars. And to measure my headspace, I'm going to use my debubbler that has measurements on the bottom. And the headspace is the distance at the bottom of this jar to the top. So now I'm going to just put my half of a teaspoon of kosher salt and a teaspoon of lemon juice in my jar. I'm going to take my funnel, put it on my jar, and I'm going to start filling my lid, or my jar again. My other jar, that is, with my tomatoes. And these are little whole tomatoes. Didn't see any need to cut these up, they're so small. Now I'm just going to start ladling in that boiling water that I brought up to 180 degrees into my jars to cover my tomatoes. And I'm going to bring it up to a 1/2 inch headspace. Ladle in my other jar with my water. 1/2 inch headspace. Need a bit more. Now I'm going to take my debubbling little spatula here, and I'm going to go into my jars, and I'm just going to scoop it around to get air bubbles out. You don't want to can your food with air bubbles. And the same thing to this jar. Just going in, scooping it around. If you don't have a debubbler, you can use a like a spatula. And I can see the bubbles. It's coming out of that jar. I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Go up to that 1/2 inch headspace. Now I'm going to take my paper towel, dip it into my vinegar, and I'm just going to go around the rim of this jar and this jar to make sure there's no tomato juice or sea salt or any type of debris on the rim of that jar. This is my magnet, my lid magnet. It's gonna help me to, it's supposed to help me to get one lid out. It doesn't help when they get stuck together. I'm just going to place my lid onto my jar, and I'm going to put my rings on, fingertip tight, fingertip tight. And there we go. Just going to stick this one into my canner over here, and this one into my canner. And we are water bath canning, you guys. It's not pressure canning. Another jar. Another little scoop of kosher salt. That's optional too. And a teaspoon of lemon juice. going to start filling this jar with my tomatoes. I might only get 3 jars of these tomatoes. If I can push these down, I can probably get all of these in this jar. Maybe not. Maybe I can. Okay. I'm gonna ladle in my hot water just to fill my tomatoes, or to cover. 2.5 inch headspace, guys. And now I'm going to de-bubble. De-bubble, get the bubbles out. It's maybe too many tomatoes in here. I'm trying. Once those cook down in that pressure canner, I'm just going around the jar. As you can see, the bubbles coming out. I did not want to waste these tomatoes. I'm gonna add just a little bit more water. All right. Get my little lid magnet. And grab me another lid. After I clean my jar. Let's go around the edges of that. Put your lid on. And then you're in. Fingertips tight. Drop it down into your can. So you guys, I got 3 cans of tomatoes. So that was not a total waste. So I got some more tomatoes to add on my pantry shelf. So you guys, I'm going to see if I can show you that canner over there. I'm going to lower these down into the water. That water is hot. And it's not covering my lids, so it's not covering my jars. The water has evaporated, so I'm going to just add, well actually, I can just add this hot water in there. Just to make sure that the jars are covered by an inch of water. And that looks like it might do it. I want these jars to sit straight up. I'm going to have to get me a water bath canner because I think this one pretty much had it. Like I said, I found this one in my garage. Gotten a lot of use. So those jars look like they are covered about an inch. So I'm going to put my lid on. And I am going to adjust my heat to high. And I'm going to let these jars come to a rolling boil. And then I will adjust my heat again. And then I will start the canning process, the timing process for my tomatoes. Once they start to boil, I will start the process, the timing process. And I believe that that is for my quart jars. I always have to go back and check myself to make sure I'm raw packed. So I believe that is 45 minutes, but let me make sure. Yeah, 45 minutes. I'm right. 45 minutes. Once that canner starts to boil, then I'm going to set my timer for 45 minutes. Once the 45 minutes is up, I'm going to turn the fire off, and I'm going to let that canner rest for about 5 minutes, and then I will take my jars out. So you guys, when that process is over, well, when it comes to a boil, I'm going to bring you guys back to show you what that looks like when I start the timing, the canning process, which is 45 minutes. So you guys, I will be back. You guys, I'm sorry, I wanted to come back to say that the vinegar that I was using to wipe the lids off of my jars, or the rims of my jars off with, I poured it inside of my water bath canner. I put some in before I started to boil that. Well, I put some in when I filled it up with the water, but I just poured the remainder of the vinegar that I was using in the bowl to clean around the rims of my jars. I poured that in there as well. That keeps your jars from getting cloudy and getting that hard water build up on your jars. You don't want to bring your jars out and they're all ugly and cloudy. I've done that before and it's not a good look. And I found out that if you put vinegar in your water, that keeps the hard water from building up on your jars. So that's what I wanted to come back and tell you guys. So we are waiting on the water to come to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, I will be right back, you guys. Thank you for watching. I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back, and it's going at a pretty rapid boil. So I am getting ready to start the canning process for 45 minutes, you guys. And when the tomatoes are ready to come out of the canner, I will be back. Alright.